Welcome to DayZ on the PlayStation 4, and let's talk about what is DayZ all about. What is this game? What are we meant to be doing? What's going to happen when we play it? Will it appeal to us? So, what is DayZ all about? Well, you can kind of sum up DayZ in that I've made a title for it, and I've called it DayZ is a post-apocalyptic open-world survival zombie adventure MMO. Okay, in third or first person. So what I mean by that is that where we're based, the peninsula is set after there's been a terrible virus, and it's turned lots of people into zombies. Luckily, we've survived. We don't know why this virus happened, and we've been washed up on the shores of this country. Oh, what's this? Jumpsuit jacket. We've been washed up on the shores of this place with very little. A flare, a piece of fruit, a drink, a stone knife, and that's it. And then we're left to our own devices. Looking very similar to PUBG, and that's probably why it appeals to me a lot in this post-apocalyptic vision. Radiator. I don't want to fix the car though. It's open world, so that means we have this absolutely massive map, the biggest map you've probably ever come across in a game. Hundreds of square kilometers that we can explore. And it's a survival game, which means that if you look in the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see little icons that refer to my hydration, my hunger, my temperature, my blood level, and my overall health. So if I let any of those things get too low, my overall health will start to suffer, and ultimately I will die. So if I get too thirsty, or if I get too hungry, or if I get wounded and start bleeding, or if I'm out in the rain and I get too cold, then you'll die. Zombies. So there's zombies all over the place. Then individually they're not much of a threat, but if you get a few of them, sort of 2 or 3 of them after you, they can kill you very, very quickly, especially at night if you lose track of where they are and you haven't got a decent weapon. An adventure, well, you definitely have adventures in this game, and I'll talk about that in a second when it comes to the MMO side of it. A power generator needs spark plugs though, and a battery. Or creates electricity. And then the MMO bit, and that's probably the bit that maybe people don't really consider too much, which is the MMO part of DayZ, and the fact that you're on this server with up to 60 people, so 59 other people, and then your flare goes out and you're having to navigate by the stars. And what that means is that these people on this server, as you bump into them, you can either work with them, you can ignore them, you can get in fights with them, and those interactions are probably the core of the DayZ experience. I've had some really interesting times where, I bumped into one guy and we both had a flare. We ended up in the middle of this forest, and we ended up wandering around. We couldn't find any food. We were digging up worms to eat, till eventually, just as the sun was coming up, we died of hunger and thirst. Another guy I bumped into, I saved his life. He was being chased by a zombie. He didn't have a weapon. I killed the zombie, and we had a good chat. He went off to find his friends. Another guy, I met him. He didn't say anything. I met him again. He shot at me, so I came back and killed him with an axe and took all his stuff. All this sort of stuff. So you may be thinking, okay, that's an awful lot of stuff, and it's hard to describe and hard to put into words. I think what you've really got to do is just watch gameplay videos. Now this is a bit difficult because the video's now gone dark. So what we could, apologies for that. But if you hear the words post-apocalyptic open world survival zombie adventure MMO, and that kind of appeals to you, watch lots of gameplay videos. There are thousands, if not millions, of hours worth of DayZ gameplay online, and just watch it. The thing I would say is playthroughs do tend to take quite a while to do. You know, as you're playing, you know, it is a fair chunk of time. You know, if we think a PUBG game at half an hour is quite long, these, you know, you could be playing for an hour and nothing much might happen. So be aware of that. But watch the gameplay, see if it appeals to you. If you're on Xbox, you can play a free trial for an hour. There's the bear again, isn't it? I need to look at my constellations so I know how to navigate properly. Have a go with it, have a play with it. There's Orion again. And if you enjoy it, you know, the footage or the trial, you know, buy it. I bought it as an alternative to competitive PUBG. So I really enjoy playing PUBG, but I can't be playing competitive stuff all the time. And this is I was hoping, and this probably will be the game that, you know, I've had enough of PUBG. Let's play DayZ for a while, you know, and then let's go back to PUBG. But I really wanted that post-apocalyptic kind of survival, but like PUBG without the circles, really, where you can wander around this massive map just looting, getting suited up, and then having interaction with players that don't always revolve around killing each other. So there we go. Anyway, that's enough for this video, because, well, you can't see anything, can you? But put your questions and comments down below. If you enjoy the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the press subscribe. If you want to support the channel, hit the Patreon link. Thank you very much, and watch out for more DayZ content soon.